Fairbury Speedway, home to some of the biggest races in the world. And now, tonight, home to the POWRi Midget iNationals, here live at LSRTV and POWRi TV. Hello and welcome, sim racing fans, back to LSRTV. Tonight, again, the POWRi Midget iNationals here live from Fairbury Speedway and ready to kick things off with a full field. Myself, Brandon Kreutz, Nolan Rempel here tonight, my co-announcer, and Cody Wooten back behind the cameras. And Nolan, it's going to be one good show here tonight. These midgets always known to put on some good racing.
Always known to put on some great racing indeed, and certainly a lot of them tonight. Going to be an absolutely full program of racing. We were talking, we had up to, what was it, like 50 drivers that we had registered to race tonight. So I am personally ready for a packed night of dirt racing action here.
Absolutely correct, and some observations that I'm seeing so far, it's going to be kind of a mixed racing groove here. We got two grooves starting to form, top and bottom, so we'll see how things play out through qualifying and heat races, but this track's shaping up to be good for the main event.
A packed night indeed. Got ourselves 5 heat races set up to run for. Then good old alphabet soups through a D, through a C, through a B before a 40-lap feature tonight. So lots of fun opportunities here to see some really intense action here.
Absolutely. Some big names throughout this field also. Some that a lot of people may recognize here from iRacing's top divisions and series, but everybody gonna have their card in the mix here tonight is the unique car track combination. These midgets gonna be flying around this place, and I'm sure a lot of these guys have their hopes up to take home the victory tonight.
No doubt a lot of drivers, like you said, have a lot of big names that I no doubt a lot of them are looking to get themselves definitely a good win here tonight. One of those drivers, no doubt, is going to be Alex Bergeron, a world championship driver in the World of Outlaws Sprint Car World Championship and Late Model World Championship. Don't forget, Logan Rumsey, another one of the pro drivers in here tonight. Blake Majulis, another big name that comes to mind. So is Evan C. and, in fact, Kendall Tucker. So there are a lot of really big names in tonight's field.
Absolutely, there are, Nolan, and I can't wait to see some of the racing that we have, and the heat races and of course consolation races are just going to be a preview to what we're going to see in the main event for a lot of cash on the line.
Indeed, looking at about a 4-figure prize for tonight for the overall race winner. So a lot of money on the line here in this event, and a lot of drivers that are looking set to definitely want to take that prize home for themselves. Like we said earlier, 45-50 cars getting set to go racing tonight in the final minutes of practice before, well, qualifying, and of course, and we roll over into the heat races as well.
So taking a look at today's race day weather, and looking at about 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temp still as much as you can measure for dirt, sitting right around 88. Wind's pretty calm here today, and looks like it's going to be a perfect day for racing altogether. These guys always ready to rock and roll here, but of course a good track makes for some good racing here, Nolan, and as we definitely know that, the track does look like it has a little bit of character here on corner entry, which is going to make things that much more interesting.
Well, don't forget, this is one of those tracks that does have progressive banking on it, so it's pretty much flat right down by the very bottom line, right by the tractor tires. And then there is quite a lot of banking in comparison right up by the outside wall, and that is where you'll be finding a lot of drivers getting the momentum. So I would not be surprised if we saw a whole, like a massive handful of slide jobs being pulled on everybody else here today.
And you know what it means when you run right against that wall with your Nerf bar kind of scraping it. You got to watch out. It'll suck you right in here, especially if you get it with that right rear tire. And these things, you're ready to get up and go for a ride if you clip that wall just right.
Oh yeah, I myself have never managed to fully get any kind of wall line handled. I myself definitely prefer to stick it down to the tires where it's nice and safe. Gotta watch out though, because there are some guys that'll take it right down from the top lane in 1 and 2 all the way down straight to the bottom in 3 and 4 in order to try to carry the most momentum they possibly can to get a good pass done.
Absolutely correct. That's why these guys are considered some of the best here on the iRacing service, and some of these guys even have quite a bit of real-life racing experience in their own sprint cars or late models or midgets or whatever they may race here. Some of these guys even have experience here at the Fairbury Speedway, so it'll be interesting to see how things play out. And of course, that's what makes iRacing so great, is everybody can get together and race for a good time and race for some big money here. And granted, it's a virtual race, Nolan, but obviously the tempers and the feelings and everything that these guys go through, the adrenaline, is all real. And of course, that is the greatest part about everything we do here.
You cannot find a more real racing experience than you can here on the service. I mean, you get everything from the action that is very much real. It's as close to life like you can get to it, especially on the dirt racing side. Not to mention, like you said, the emotions. They're also as real as you'll be able to get. This isn't like some of the other online lobbies you might be able to see in other sims where, you know, people are more just kind of fooling around. That does happen here sometimes from time to time, but in big events like this, you can bet that every driver is taking this just as seriously as if they were actually there doing the real thing.
Absolutely correct. And of course, POWRi, you know that those guys known for holding some of the biggest dirt midget and sprint car races around the United States, and really happy to have them on board for this whole thing. It's really a pleasure to be working with all of those guys over there, and of course, everybody would like to wish all of their drivers luck here tonight.
Looks like we got about 7 minutes or so left here in the practice session before we roll over into qualifying. Unique qualifying format, as a matter of fact, here, Brandon, because remember, usually we see all the cars will come through and they'll all qualify at the same time on the same, or literally kind of at the same time. Not today. Today, every car is going to be coming out one at a time in the order that they have registered. So, very unique treat there for us tonight. Not to mention the 4-light salute coming up later on as well.
Yeah, something we don't really see on the iRacing service much, and something that I really like it when promoters do. And of course, POWRi doing a really good job with everything here going on, and these guys know what they're doing, I'd say.
Now, like we've said time and time again, best of the best, and no doubt these drivers are going to definitely show us why exactly that is, as to why they're considered some of the best drivers in their field. The seconds continue to tick on down, as this practice session is really a good opportunity to see kind of the different lines that we see some drivers taking throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, as practice goes on, Nolan, you can really see just how the track is starting to transition. Everything kind of falling into play here, and a lot of these guys just trying to prep for everything that's going to happen later. It does look like the track is going to end up carrying over from practice to heat races all the way up to the feature. So track crews should not find themselves out onto the track to do any sort of preparation before any of these main events tonight.
The top three are separated by just about a tenth of a second, if that. Looks to be even less, though, half a tenth of a second separating first on down to third. So it is a very, very tight field today. In fact, the top 8 are separated by just 1/10 of a second. That proves just how competitive the field is tonight. In fact, some of them are separated by just 0.005 of a second from each other.
Oh, absolutely. These guys are going to be wheeling these things around here tonight. And, of course, small race car, high horsepower, and very lightweight design of these POWRi midgets. So, going to be really interesting to see what happens tonight. And these guys are going to be feather-footing it, I'm sure, in the feature, or pounding it right against that outside cushion.
You say lightweight carriages these drivers pretty much driving. You saw just on the screen a little while ago on one of these wall cameras, somebody demonstrated that very well by taking a bit of a bouncy ride down the back straightaway. Hope that guy was not wearing a VR headset, because my goodness, that must not be pleasant to be wearing one of those while cartwheeling down one of the straightaways like this. But yeah, these cars very light, and actually don't even have the most amount of horsepower in the world as well. I mean, not as much as I guess we might think. Certainly not as much as you even see even in just the 360 sprint cars.
Now, little 4-cylinder motors, but the power to weight ratio on these cars is absolutely insane, and I still plead that anybody that gets into one of these and drives them as fast as they do, they're crazy.
Well, I mean, and if anybody says these cars can't be that hard to drive, surely you're exaggerating when you say the weight to power ratio is not as bad as you say. I can guarantee you, and I got into one of these cars actually just earlier today in the sim to try to see what it was going to be like for these guys around here tonight. Put my foot to the floor, popped the wheelie coming out of the pits, and flicked over backwards. That's how much power the cars have in comparison to the weight. You have no choice but to feather footed when you're off the line. You're gonna find yourself popping a wheelie and spinning around. I mean, how do you think these guys manage to do that at places like the Chili Bowl?
Absolutely, and about 3 minutes left till we transition over to qualifying. And just to run it through for you, qualifying is going to be a single car qualifying format, and each one of these drivers is going to make their way out onto the track one car at a time. We'll get you to know each one of these drivers and just see just what they can do. But it also plays another effect on everything going on, is with one driver at a time, unlike we're kind of used to seeing here on the iRacing service, one car at a time, the track is going to get it's going to start to transition over the course of qualifying, and some of these guys are going to have to find a different line than what they used in practice, and they're going to have to find it quick because you only get a couple of laps around here to make it count.
Yeah, only a couple laps to get your times right, and that means, of course, if you end up botching one of these laps, it's done and over with. Especially since you got to remember as well, these guys do not get to pull the old trick where you can maybe go back and have another run at it. They can't just reset to the pits like you would in the practice session if you butcher one qualifying lap. Because the second they take that white flag, the next driver's already going to be out on the track on their out lap, so they have to commit once they're out on the racing surface.
Absolutely correct. So again, just it's kind of throwing some curveballs at these drivers. It's stuff that they're not totally used to, but stuff that they can adapt to. And to me, that is huge for everybody here on the iRacing service. And of course, these dirt drivers know what's up with transitioning and doing it quick.
Just a minute and a half left in practice now. The order of qualifying is, of course, going to be in the order that the drivers registered for the practice session today. So it's not going to necessarily be by numerical order, but whoever, it literally is going to be first come, first served, so to speak, in this one.
Yeah, absolutely it will. And I almost don't know if I'd rather be the first car out or the last car out in this scenario, but I guess first car out may have a little bit of a better track condition. But of course, the nerves got to get to you too. You got to be mentally ready for everything going on, and kind of getting put in the spot real quick like that, sometimes you make a mistake.
I would honestly say the best move to be would actually to be kind of in the middle, because that way you can get the cars ahead of you to kind of wear the track in a bit more. But you definitely don't want to be the last one, because then the track's just going to be beat all up by the time you take your hit on it.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And these guys about ready to gear up and get ready here, Nolan, and it's going to be a good show.
I think that is what we're going to find to be an understatement coming into tonight. This is definitely going to be one exciting event for us here tonight. So just a few seconds left here in practice. I think we're about set to roll on over to qualifying.
That we are. These drivers about ready to wind it up here, one car at a time. Qualifying style. Here are the POWRi Midget iNationals from Fairbury Speedway. About ready to kick things off here.
Just waiting here to see who's going to be the first of the cars out on track, which is being determined here by race control as we speak. Looks like it'll be Easton Ashbrook.
That it will. Just waiting for all these guys to get ready down here.
So confirmed, Easton Ashbrook going to be the first car out on track today, as he is now taking to the racing surface.
Easton coming around to start his first lap, this time by at the stripe. He's going to hit it out of turn 4 this time around. Driver out of Indiana, driver the 993. Coming around this time by. He's going to hit his fast time. 13.586 for Easton. Next out is going to be the number 88 machine. That's going to be Garrett Husley. Garrett Husley coming around to take his first lap time. 14.126 last time around at the stripe. 14.126. Garrett Husley coming around one last time at a turn 4 this time. It's going to be the quick time. 13.571 for Garrett Husley. He's going to have a quick time of the night so far. Alex Bergeron up next. Take the track. Again, so far, 2 drivers have ruled out in qualifying. Bergeron coming around to complete lap number 1, this time by 14.292. That last time around for Alex Bergeron. Coming around turn number 4, this time by once again. See if Alex can grab quick time. Quick time, Alex Bergeron, 13.549.
Dylan Yeager takes to the track next in the 48.
Coming around this time out of turn 4 to complete lap number 1, Dylan Yeager. He falls in line 4th so far, 14.420. Quick lap time's gonna chop him off here. Coming around this time again, once out of turn number 4, 48 machine. He's gonna put down a 13.587. That's good enough for 4th position.
And one of the pro drivers up next, Blake Majulis.
Blake Majulis coming around out of turn 4 this time by to complete lap number 1 of his 2-lap run. He's going to place 5th on the board so far, running that low line now. He's going to give it a whirl, see what he's got here on the low side. See what it's good for. 13.336. He's going to run quick time at the bottom of the racetrack. 06 Rylan Gray out onto the racetrack now. That last one by was good enough for a 14.650 for the 06. Again at a turn 4 this time by 13.666. Good for position number 6 there. A lot of 6s for Rylan Gray. 00. Kendall Tucker out onto the racetrack now. Out of turn 4, lap number 1, 14.086 for Kendall Tucker. Running that good low line and all the way up to the top of the racetrack that time. Nearly getting into the outside wall. That's going to be a 13.463 runner-up position. Position number 2 for Kendall Tucker. Haven't seen now onto the racetrack. Turn number 4. Evan C. Car number 33. 15.126 that last time around. He's going to shoot to the bottom of the racetrack now. Nearly clipping that Uke tire. Oh, so close. Now this time at a turn 4. Quick time for Evan C. 13.171. Robert Ashbrook out onto the speedway this time. Car number 90 out of turn 4. Pushed it real hard that time out of turn 4. Good enough for 15.251. Turn 4 once again. Robert Ashbrook, 13.912. Good for 9th position on the board so far. Kenny Miller working his way out onto the speedway now. Maybe, possibly. Right now, Logan Rumsey out onto the speedway. Logan Rumsey out with a 13.625 on the board. They're rolling to 23 now. Kenny Miller out of the speedway to take his laps. Fights whatever issues he was having. Slingshot all the way down to the bottom of the speedway. This time a bye. That's good enough for a 13.793. 10th on the board so far. Car number 23. Slow rolling the bottom. Seems to be the quick line around here so far. Wheelie out of turn number 4. And he's going to hold tight. 8th position, 13.592. Brendan Rogers out of the speedway now. 20 machine. Turn 4 this time. First lap down. 14.950 for Brendan Rogers. Slow roll in the bottom. 13.206. Nolan, that's good enough for the 2nd position. Anybody going to be able to touch Evan C up there? That's the question.
Well, Jacob Denny might want to have a word or two to say about that one as he's ripping the top side.
Turn 4 that time. 14.361. Good enough for 13th on the board so far. He's going to stay ripping the high side now, shooting it down low at a turn 3 and 4 this time around. 11 machine, Jacob Denny. He was good enough to hold for 10th position. Chase Randall on the track now. 25 machines out of turn 4 this time. First lap around. 14.566. Good enough for 14th. He's going to come around way on the low side once again out of turn 4. Trying not to straighten that car out. He's going to hold that 13th position. 13.682 on that last lap around. Trey Gropp this time. .54 machine out of turn 4 this time. 14.517. 14.517 for Trey Gropp. First lap around this time. Now through turns 3 and 4 once again. .13752. Good enough for that 14th position on the board so far for Trey Gropp. Reed Whitney, number 87 machine this top at a turn 4. First lap around. Good enough so far for 16th position, 14.707. Second lap around, he's going to be 14.099, holding that 16th position. Darren Stark out onto the racetrack now. Car number 55 out of turn 4 this time. First lap around. 14.747 for Darren Stark. Ripping the high side. Now slingshot down low at a turn 4 this time. Trying to hold that momentum. He's going to be good for position number 16 so far. 13.955. Jake Erickson, 0-14 out on the speedway. .14.337 that time around. On the binders, trying to slow roll the bottom through turns 1 and 2. Now again through turns 3 and 4. Oh, man.
Oh.
Talk about on the throttle. 14.031. Good for 17th position, but he did it in style.
So Brad Faria now running the top side as he's off of turn number 4. His run going to be good for a 14.848 on his first lap. One more. He appears to be going to the low side. Definitely seems like the bottom groove seems to be the more preferred line here in qualifying. That's where a majority of the cars have been thus far. He's going to cross the line, tagging a 14.021. That's only going to be good enough, though, for 17th so far on the grid. Moving on down to Caleb Sheets right now in that number 66 machine. As he takes it down now onto his qualifying run. He's running the top line here. A bit of a middle to high line, trying to see what he can make. Gonna pick the middle here for 3 and 4. Driving out the corner, almost tags the wall. But he is going to settle for a 14.115 from the looks of things. Definitely not quite what he was hoping for. He is going to have to find himself once again near the back of the grid. Hunter Wise now takes to the circuit. Enters high, exits low, enters low for turn number 1 as he puts his second lap now onto the boards. Definitely rolling that bottom groove right now in the number 47 machine for Wise. Bombs it off of turn number 4. He's going to get in the 13.883. That is going to put him to 16th on the boards. 15th, sorry, on that one. Up next, Chase McDermott in the 40 machine. Seeing what he can make as he's once again running that high line, trying to get the maximum amount of momentum that he possibly can off of turn number 4 before diving it down low where all that momentum is going to scrub away through 1 and 2. Gets the car straightened up. Then turns it in hard once more through 3 and 4. Popping a wheelie as he's going to go across the line and take a 13.351. That is going to put him up into the 4th position. A great run there for McDermott. Jack Hoyer now on the boards. He's trying to really run the wall. Almost getting into it. Oh, just barely scrapes it with the right rear wheel of a turn number 4 before he dives it off down low. Slinging the mighty Midget through 3 and 4. Once again off of the final corner. No fancy wheel for him. It's a 13.702. That puts him up into 15th. A lot of cars definitely wanted that 15th position, it would seem. J.D. Brown, the next machine out on track in the number 14. Starts his flying lap, the fast lap as it's commonly known as. Once again, like all the drivers we've seen so far, really running the low side through both 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And across the line is going to put him a 13.339. That's going to move him up to the 4th place. So some cars at times definitely starting to drop here. Blake Bauer wants to see what he can make here in his number 10 machine. He set a 12.4 in practice. We'll have to see what he can make here in qualifying. It's a 14.2 to start things off. Still has 2 more corners to go before his qualifying run ends. Jumps over the berm with the exit of the curb. He's going to once again pop a wheelie. Only good enough for a 13.952 as he overturns in turn number 1. So Rhett Tucker now takes the charts in the number 99. Off of the final corner start, his flying lap, a 14.4 to start him off. No surprise to see that one at the bottom of the board. Still has the one more to go, though. Can he get a good run off of the final corner? Not as good as he would have hoped. Only good enough for what is going to be the 25th position, a 14.034 to round it off. Brandon Crouch. He's all sorts of out of shape here as he's coming to start his second lap. So his second lap has already been shot as he was all sorts of loose coming off of 4. Running the high line through 1 and 2 to get momentum going. Trying to hold speed through 3 and 4. Maybe trying to keep it safe here to get a faster lap in. A 14.085. That is second to last so far on the charts for 26th. Tyler Edwards rolling slowly through turns 1 and 2. Now he's going to stamp on the pedal as he approaches 3 and 4 and he gets into the wall. That is going to butcher his run up to the second lap as he bounces off the turn 4 barriers. Gets on the binders for 1 and 2 to get the car slowed down enough before reeling it down for 3 and 4. Stamps hard on the pedal, pops the front wheels up. A 13.672, so a good midfield position. Probably could have been a little bit higher though. Good enough for 15th. Jonathan Schaefer in the 91 is the next machine up. And he's going to take it off of turn 4 now to start his flyer. Stepping the back end out early for 3 and 4. Slows the car down, kind of takes a bit of a low to middle line. And tags in a 13.746, Brandon.
Next car route onto the speedway. Going to be the number 27 machine, Cody Gratzky, I believe it is. Gatsky, my apologies. First lap around. Get for position number 30 on the board so far, 14.513. Out of turn 4 this time. Go to Gatsky, 14.091. Get for position number 29.
Alex Rupert, the next one up, as he takes it across the line for 1 and 2. 14.2 for the first lap, so actually a pretty decent opening lap to his run as well. Look at this wheel of those just across the line, almost a one wheel.
Wow.
And that is going to put him on a 13.866. So in style, unfortunately, style doesn't always get you up where you need to be.
Zach Hollinger out onto the speedway now. Car number 3, Zach Hollinger takes it out of turn 4 on the low side, first lap on. He's going to be good for a 15.005. 15.005 for Zach Hollinger. Lap number 2, this top again at a turn 4. See what it's good for. Position number 32 on the board so far, 14.404 last time around.
Ouch.
Now Travis Creech out onto the speedway. Car number 75 at a turn 4, this time by for lap number 1. He's going to be good for a 14.712, and it does look like the track is starting to slow down quite a bit now. Turn 4 this time by, a little bit of wheelie action from him. He's going to be good for a 14.212, position number 36. Keith Bradley. This time, he's coming into turn 3. Gonna try to come out of turn 4 hot. He has the momentum. Lap 1 this time, good for a 14.560. Trying to keep her steady right there around the midline. Trying to find any grip he can. This time, once again, out of turn 4. Keith Bradley, good for a 14.157, position number 32 for the 29 machine.
Joseph.
Zero. Go ahead, Nolan.
I believe it's Joseph Buonagurio. We were talking about this one before the broadcast, actually, as he takes it to the boards now for 14.466. You were talking about the track has started to slow down. I think that's the case of the track has just been beat all up now from qualifying. He's going to take it across the line with a 14.110. Track is definitely slowing. Not a shadow of a doubt on that one.
Absolutely correct. Going to be Brian Wademan on the speedway, 0-1. Turn 4 this time, lap number 1. 14.744, good for position number 36 on the board so far. Brian takes that 0-1 machine low side, right in the bottom. Cross the line in style, 13.686, good for the 17th position. Tyler Scott onto the speedway now. He's going to come out of turn 4 this time to complete lap number 1. 14.585 for Tyler Scott. Lap number 2 looking good so far. Drifts up the track just a little bit, trying to find the grip. He's on the hammer across the line this time. 14.056, good for the position number 30. .63 this time at a turn 4. That last time by was a 14.414. Position number 31 for car number 63, 14.075. Of course, track really starting to slow down here. Car number 26, Cody Knott onto the speedway now. Lap number 1 at the line this time. 15.007. Good for 39th so far. .592, holding that 39th position on the board so far out of 50. Benny Sanson. Car number 80 this time at a turn 4. 14.439, good for 39th position. This time at the stripe once again. 13.967, good for 26th position on the board. All these guys we're finding kind of moving around, trying to find different lines so far. Only 5 more cars to qualify now.
Aiden Purdue going to cross the line in style, logging a 13.724. That's going to put him right in the midfield at about the 19th position.
Samuel Rabber out onto the speedway now. Car number 76 out of turn 4 this time, lap number 1. He's going to clock into the 41st position, a 14.437. This time, once again, at a turn 4. 14.561, good for 41st. Brian Paget. Ripping the high side now. Trying to find the momentum. Coming around for lap number 1. Right against that outside wall corner exit. 14.719, good for 43rd on the board so far. Riding the high side through 1 and 2. He's going to take it way down low in 3 and 4. Trying to keep that car straight.
Ooh.
And that lap was nulled.
hit the wall right at start finish.
Tough break. Dawson Pursley now out onto the speedway. Car number 9, this time at a turn 4. Way against the outside wall. 14-4, 7-4. Good for 42nd on the board so far. Once again, car number 9. Dawson Pursley. 13-8, 7-1. Good for 23rd, which is a really good time for the conditions that the track is in now. Now onto the track, Dustin Sizemore. Car number 11. Out of turn 4 this time, Sizemore. 14-3, 3-4. Clocking in position 41. This time out of turn 4 once again, the 11 machine, Dustin Sizemore. He's going to come home 14-0-4-7. Good for 33rd. And that should do it for qualifying here tonight. And
that was
once you know it, it was definitely interesting, Nolan. Evan C. up at the top of the board. 13-1-7-1 was your quick time of the night. And he's going to be able to hold that going into the heat races now. Drivers taking a vote whether track crews come out onto the speedway and rework this racetrack or not.
Looks like they're trying to decide if they want to rework the track either before the main event or for the heats, and it seems like a majority are saying to rework it for the main event. So we might have this track to stay for the heat races.
Yep, so the track is going to be reworked before the D main event. So it'll put these guys on a fresh racing surface for the D mains. But for heat races 1 through 5, by the way, we'll have this racing surface to deal with. And for some of these drivers, it's going to be tough to adjust. Nolan, as you know, for somebody like Evan C. that went out, one of the first drivers out, and now the track is the way it is after 45 cars running 2 laps apiece, that adds up pretty quick, and the track slicked right off.
It certainly did, and I was saying as well how you didn't want to be the first car out because the track should still be worked in a little bit. Evan C, I believe, was about the 9th or 10th car out, so by then the track was worked in a little bit. He got it when it was really at its best, and that is what allowed him to get his 13.171. The question is, now that the track is so different than when he ran on it, like you said as well, will he be able to hold on to it?
That is the real question, and Nolan, as we go into heat race number 1 of 5, run us through our heat race number 1 starting lineup.
Well, Evan C., your fast lap time is the one on pole position for heat race number 1. Kendall Tucker lines up beside him in row number, on the second position. Row 2 holds Kenny Miller and Chase Randall. Top 5 is rounded out by Trey Gropp. Blake Bauer started just beside him. Jake Erickson and Brennan Crouch rounded out row number 4. All is lonesome in row number 5. Travis Creech rounds out a 9-car heat race for heat race number 1.
9 cars getting set on the grid, ready to go racing for the first time tonight. Of course, we've seen the cars out on the track. This is the first time they're going to battle wheel to wheel for position. Nolan, this is going to be interesting. 3 cars lock themselves into the feature. The rest, they got to go through the mains. And as we know, we have all the way up through a D main. So there's 3 different consolation races for these guys to try to get through to make it to the feature.
Hey, we've seen guys like Mason Crawford be able to do it through the D, through the C, to the B, and almost win the A. So anything is possible coming into this one.
These guys ready to rock and roll for the first time tonight. 33 Heaven C ready to get on the throttle. Green flag is in the air for the first time tonight at Fairbury.
And wrecking already in the background. 2 cars up and over, one up and over. Brandon Crouch still flipping up against the turn 2 wall. So already 1 car out very, very early as the field dives through 3 and 4.
Those cars out into the infield now. Safety crews ready to, virtual safety crews ready to check up on them. We stay green. Everything's out of the racing surface. Evan C still battling up front. He's got company from 3, 4, 5 cars back behind him. And watch out, Kendall Tucker trying to pull the slider, not quite able to make it work.
Still do battling. This is for the second position these guys are fighting for, so this is just for a secure position. Right now, Tucker's the driver sitting right on that bubble spot. Randall's not going to let him get on the inside, though, so Tucker's going to have to try to pull the outside. Randall goes up to the wall, though, on the exit of 2. Now Tucker trying to dive it off at 3.
Oh man, this time at a turn number 4, down the front straightaway. Already 5 laps in the books here. Kendall Tucker lost a little bit of ground this time. Chase Randall trying to hunt down your heat race leader. It's going to be a side-by-side battle this time at a turn 4. 25 up high, 33 down low.
Evan Say really working that bottom line to his advantage, trying to get every ounce of speed he can out of there. Chase Randall is still trying to force a bit of a low-high line. It's not quite working, though, for Randall because he's just not able to get the speed that he needs on the exit of these corners.
Not quite, and that 33 machine rocking that bottom side of the speedway, and so far it's working. Chase Randall trying to play his cards right up on the high side. Trying to slingshot his way, and that's going to do it at that time. Evan Say going to have his way in heat race number 1 and come home with a heat race win.
And you got Chase Randall as well as Kendall Tucker to go with him as well into the feature event. So decent first heat race there. Only 1 car out in the first one. No yellows yet.
We roll into heat race number 2. Nolan, once again, take us into your heat race starting lineup.
Brandon Rogers starts us on the pole this time round. Alex Bergeron, the World Championship driver, starting beside him on the first row. Jacob Denny and Bryant Weidman in 3rd and 4th. Alex Rupert rounds out the top 5, with Darren Stark beside him in 6th. Rhett Tucker and Cody Gatsky in 7th and 8th. Zach Hollinger rounds out another 9-car field for heat number 2.
Heat number 2 on the grid, ready to rock and roll here. All these guys trying to fight to get into the main event. Of course, all of us here from LSRTV want to thank all of our viewers for tuning in tonight, as it really does help when you support us and our channel. If you want more information on LSRTV, it's livesimracingtv.com. Again, livesimracingtv.com is the place to go. And of course, I want to give another shout out to iRacing Motorsport Simulations. Without them, we wouldn't do what we do. So if you want to learn more about how to become a racing member here on iRacing, it's going to be iRacing.com for more information. Race control just finishing the quick briefing over the driver's radio with these guys and what they want to see. Nice orderly start. Brendan Rogers, Alex Bergeron, make up your front row. Heat race number 2, we're green.
Good launch from Brendan Rogers down to the turn number 1. Bergeron's trying to work the high lane. Bergeron's going to take it around the outside line, and Bergeron clears into turn number 3. So Alex Bergeron takes the lead early here in heat number 2.
Man, oh man, Bergeron ripping that high side. Here comes Brendan Rogers down low once again, trying to make something work down there. It's going to be a side-by-side battle into turn 3. Put a 3rd car into that mix.
That's Jacob Denny that's actually following Bergeron, as he's also ripping the high side, high, wide, and very much handsome. Brendan Rogers, nothing he can do about it. Gonna have to cover down low as Denny dives it up the inside. Both cars sliding into the wall now as Brendan Rogers trying to go for the over-under.
Jacob Denny with a slide job, but now here comes Rogers to give it right back. Crossover down low for the 2nd position. These guys both transferring into the future where they are. Slide job once again. These guys just playing with each other at this point. Just trying to fight for that position. They got to watch out. They're going to have company coming up behind them real soon.
And they got to make sure they don't take each other out, too, because if either one of those drivers crash, that's going to open the door wide open for Alex Rupert to throw his hat into the ring as well. And that is not at all what either of these drivers want to see. Look at Dunny really working the high line, just really sticking his nose there saying, this is my lane up here, and I'm going to make sure that it stays mine.
Rogers giving the old hey, how you doing that time around as he made the slider work once again. He's going to hang on to that second position so far. Coming to the white flag this time by for Alex Bergeron. 1 lap to go till he can possibly walk home with a heat race win. These guys still trying to battle it out for the second position. Jacob Denny quickly trying to follow Brendan Rogers side by side into turn 3. Rogers with a slider all the way up high. Bergeron gets the heat win. Brendan Rogers comes home in second in the final transfer. Jacob Denny in third.
That leaves another 6 drivers that once again have to go through and sort this out in alphabet soup land.
Heat race number 3 once again, Nolan. Run us down through your starting lineup.
Blake Majulis, another one of the pro drivers, starts us off here in pole position this time round. Garrett Hulsey starting off on second. Logan Rumsey in third. Jack Hoyer in fourth. Pursley in fifth. Vinny Sansone in 6th, Justin Sizemore 7th, Reed Whitney in 8th, Samuel Raber rounding out another 9-car field.
9 cars once again ready to take the grid here, and we saw one good battle there in heat race number 2, and I think it's shaping up to be another good one just with the caliber of drivers we have at each heat race, Nolan. This is some awesome racing we're seeing so far tonight.
It's one of the good things about the midgets as well is because these cars are very, very small, they can get away with making those kinds of crazy bonsai dives in the middle. You would never see that work in, heck, probably even the big block modifieds wouldn't be able to make that work so well here. Certainly not the sprint cars with the speed that they can carry around here. So the midgets are really the only cars that can really, I guess, get away with that type of racing. That's what makes them so entertaining, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. And these guys really duking it out and showing everybody what it is to have a good time out there tonight. Drivers stack up, doubled up, ready to go. Green flag racing once again. Heat race number 3 on the board. Little bit of a check up there, but green flag is in the air. So far, so clean. It's going to be 4, 5, 6 drivers under a blanket out of turn 2.
Majulis gets a good launch off of the line. Garrett Hulsey almost getting taken out by Dyson Pursley as Pursley tried to pull the slider down through turn number 4. That didn't quite work out for him. A lot of drivers really evenly matched in this heat race as it is just an absolute hornet's nest of midgets down through 3 and 4. Garrett Hulsey has really got to get by Logan Rumsey in a hurry here because here comes Pursley up the inside trying the slider. Can't quite get there, but Hulsey can't hang out forever. One car up onto his side behind them. That's Jack Hoyer who saves it.
Good save back there, and those guys, again, he was trying to battle for the transfer position. Pursley sitting on the bubble looking in, and Garrett Hulsey trying to make it work. Slide job from the number 9 machine. Close call there. These guys going to be side by side nearly into turn 1. Almost a little bit of contact there. Sketchy stuff now this time into turn 2.
Hulsey still trying to fight with him here, trying to get right up to Hulsey and nearly taking him out as well. This can only end badly for one of these drivers if it keeps up this way. And now Pursley trying to go for the second position as well as Logan Rumsey got a little bit washed up, but Rumsey managed to get a great launch off of turn number 2. 2 laps to go this time by, and Hulsey's only losing time.
Pursley looking high, wide, and handsome, looking clean so far to take home that transfer position. Logan Rumsey so far in second, your heat race leader so far up here. But
and Hulsey's out. Hulsey's up and over.
That's just what I was looking at. Things getting a little bit hairy, and that's going to give up one of the transfer positions. as heat race number 3 comes to an end.
Drivers advance forward are Blake Majulis, Dazem Persley, and of course Logan Rumsey, the top 3 that finished in heat race number 3.
Heat race number 4 getting ready to stack up there on grid. Again, 5 heat races after the 5th heat. Track crew is going to come out and prep this thing. Nolan, take us away with your starting lineup once again.
And it's JD Brown for the pole position this time around. Easton Ashbrook, one of the first drivers to go out for qualifying earlier tonight, is going to start on 2nd. Rylan Gray in 3rd. Hayden Purdue in 4th. Hunter Wise 5th. Caleb Sheets in 6th. Tyler Scott 7th. Joseph Buonagurio in 8th. And Cody Knott rounding out a 9-car field.
Drivers in the grid now, race control telling these guys what's up, what they want to see. Trying to have a nice, clean, organized event. JD Brown going to lead these guys to the green when the time comes. One more time around the Fairbury Speedway before these guys get the green flag. Nolan, some awesome racing we've seen so far.
Some awesome racing indeed, and still a lot more to come as the pace truck pulls off at Fairbury.
JD Brown ready to get on the throttle. That he does. We're green flag racing once again. 3-way battle for the lead already. Look out, 3 wide out of turn 2.
Ashbrook got a terrible start. He's already down to the 5th position. Now trying to throw his way up the bottom as it's just, once again, a massive hornet's nest of cars. Meanwhile, up front, JD Brown still maintains the race lead. They
wreck up front. Caution flag is out. Your race leader, JD Brown, upside down.
Wow, that was not how we wanted that battle to end. First caution of the night in heat race number 4. Take a look at this one on the replay as you're going to watch here. He's just going to wash up a bit too far and just clip him in the left rear.
But I do stand corrected. JD Brown is able to keep going. Did look like a couple other drivers back there getting on their lid. Hayden Purdue is one of those drivers, and a very unfortunate break for your top 3 as they were all involved.
It looks like Aiden Purdue was the driver that was pinned at fault by race control for this one. Likely would be they would be parked for the rest of the heat race, but he's already had to tow it back to the pits, so no action will be taken on this one either. But that is just very unfortunate, especially for JD Brown, who luckily managed to keep going, but I don't know how badly that car was damaged or if he's going to be hurting at all, because that Nerf bar is pretty crunched in.
That's going to be a tough situation. JD Brown, Hunter Wise, Easton Ashbrook going to be your top 3 so far. Brown's on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
And up the inside, Hunter Wise. Holy cow! Caleb Sheets, what were you thinking? 3 cars around and the caution flag comes out. What kind of a move was that from Sheets?
Trying to figure that out myself. I didn't really like what I saw there. And that causes another 3, 4, 5 car pile up here as Caleb Sheets tried to dive it underneath the 993 and he clipped the 47. Those guys were battling for the lead, by the way, and that'll send him up the racetrack collecting about 3 other race cars in the mix.
And Sheets has been parked for heat race number 4, as you just saw there on the screens.
So race control did not like what they saw at all, and I think a good call by the officials is you got to know when enough is enough, and I think he went over the line there.
I think he was trying to maybe go for a spot, if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt at least. I think he was trying to go for a spot that just was never going to be fully open. He just dove it in way too deep. I mean, hey, clumsy mistake, and I agree. I think it was the right call for race control. It was a pretty clumsy mistake, especially for a heat race. Green flag is back out into the air, and JD Brown going to lead the field out of turn number 2 once again. Hunter Wise going to follow him, and would you look who made his way up to the transfer spot? Actually, a 3-car battle for transfer. 993 in trouble. He manages to save it to keep it going. That's Easton Ashbrook. So Buonagurio right now running them into third position, while the top two just absolutely check out. Hunter Wise and JD Brown are absolutely gone. Way in the back and several laps down to this point. Rylan Gray has also managed to rejoin the field as well, so he's looking to just log some laps.
JD Brown rocking the high side now. 2 laps to go. 14 machines so far, so clean. 47 almost in trouble. That's Hunter Wise. He's in the second position. He slid up the racetrack. You got to watch out. Nolan, another thing is you don't want to stall these cars out either, because that could get you into trouble losing a bunch of spots.
It's very easy to stall these cars out too, especially with how low revs they're getting as they run the low line of the corners. JD Brown, meanwhile, going to take victory in heat race number 4. Hunter Wise going to pick up second, with Joseph Buonagurio rounding out the podium.
That rounds out heat race number 4. One more to go before we get into the mains.
Chase McDermott starts it off on the pole. Dylan Yeager down in second. Tyler Edwards in third. Joseph Schaefer in fourth. Robert Ashbrook in fifth. Brian Faria sixth. Alex Benellis in seventh. Keith Bradley eighth. And Ryan Paget rounding out the final 9-car field. Remember as well, Brandon, after this heat race, track is going to be reworked for the D-Main onward for the end of the night.
Again, 3 cars advance to the feature. The last heat race of the night. The rest of these guys got to go through the mains. D-Main all the way up to the A-Main. Chase McDermott going to see if he can lead these guys off to the green next time around.
We've seen some very good action so far in this race, especially in heat race number 3. I think really stands out for me. Heat race 4 was when I think calamity really started to break loose, but just 8 more laps and then the field size will slowly start to grow.
We're going to go green at a turn 4 this time by McDermott in the 40. Going to be in control. He's got Dylan Yeager to his outside. That'll make up your front row. Heat race number 5 is underway. Green flag is in the air.
Big check him in the back, but so far everybody keeps it clean. A bunch of cars trying to cram it to the bottom side. A bunch of drivers almost in trouble. Tyler Edwards somehow manages to escape from all that chaos behind him. They're looking for 4 wide way in the back, but somehow again we don't have a yellow flag. Meanwhile, cars just beating and banging all over the place.
Where did Tyler Edwards come from? He's trying to battle for the heat race lead down at the bottom side. Car number 69. Trying to see what he can do. McDermott all the way up on the high side. Edwards down low. Side by side, even still this top at a turn 4.
This just goes to show you how important the momentum is you can get around the outside line. I mean, McDermott is able to just barely keep ahead of him because of the momentum that he's got on the outside line. But Edwards is just getting a much tighter line through turns 2 and 4. That's what's allowing him to try to pull ahead. Oh, caution flag is out. And which one was this one for?
29 machine was going to be the cause of this one. It's going to be Keith Bradley. He went upside down off of a Uke tire in turn number 1. Dove it in a little too low. And yeah, tough break for 29 and didn't actually land on the cage. He managed to kind of roll around, pirouette, and he actually managed to get that machine going again. So probably damaged front suspension and maybe an ego, but that's about it.
Well, it's unfortunately going to be enough for him because race control has parked him for disturbing the flow of the heat race. So just goes to show you that little bit of a mistake is enough to sometimes cost you dearly. Pace truck's already off. We're ready to go back green.
Chase McDermott going to lead these guys single file back to the green flag. He's on the throttle once again. Green flag is back in the air.
Green flag back in the air indeed. Everybody except McDermott really trying to crowd the bottom lane and everybody trying to get their nose in there at once. Tyler Edwards manages to escape the clutches of Dylan Yeager. Oh my word. Caution flags out again, and this time it's for Brad Faria in the back.
Looked like he may have had a little bit of help on that one. We'll go back on replay and see just what's up. And actually, oh, just a little bit of a stack up in front of him was all. As looked like that's the 98 machine in front of him. Just got checked up a little bit, hit a little bit of a rut there, and he had to let off and nowhere to go for Brad Faria.
And nowhere to go for Ferry, unfortunately. I mean, that's just one of the couches of dirt racing, where you all try to crowd into one lane. I mean, this is typically, you can fit about, like, you could probably fit about the entire field in the heat race that's left, at least, all into one big line here from top to bottom. When you all try to cram it down to the bottom lane, that tends to be the result.
So Chase McDermott, who were supposed to go last time around, they held it by 1 lap. Should be getting the 1-to-go signal this time by race control, pushing it off one more time. Just trying to get the line up right.
We're trying to review the incident too.
Caution was deemed by that 98 machine. Just caught a small piece of that tractor tire on the infield, officials say, and was the cause of that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what happened. I mean, he kind of reeled off the berm and kind of pushed up into the path of Faria. So that's what so it looks like that's what they're trying to call now, and it looks like he is going to be done for the heat race.
So these guys gonna be stacked up once again. Should be getting the 1-to-go signal right here at the line, and that they do. Race control calling 1 lap to the green, this time by, again, Chase McDermott, going to be your starter car for this restart. He's going to be your control car. Tyler Edwards back behind him in second. Your final transfer position, Dylan Yeager in the 48.
McDermott keeping the field way behind. Big checker behind him as he gets off the throttle and just launches away from the rest of the field as everybody once again tries to crowd the bottom. Look at Dylan Yeager somehow muscling his way through to second.
Oh, it's 3 wide for that transfer position. Look out, here comes Edwards once again down on that low side. And now Jonathan Schaefer trying to throw his hat into the mix. Beating and banging Nerf bars for this transfer position, this time at a turn 4. Oh, man.
Ugh.
Chase McDermott, Tyler Edwards, and Dylan Yeager going to come home with the transfer positions. What a race.
And so, track is reworked and we head on over to D-main action, where the field increases from 9 to 10.
So track has been reworked, and man, this is going to put a real curveball on things. Nolan, we're going to see some probably single file racing, at least for the first couple of mains. I'll have to guess, but this track is going to be really, really good for the main event.
It's going to be very good for the main event indeed. Blake Bauer going to start him off on the pole position this time around, with Zach Hollinger in second, Vinny Sansone in third, Caleb Sheets in fourth, Ryan Paget and Brandon Crouch in fifth and sixth, Cody Gatsky in seventh, Garrett Halsey in eighth. This time, ninth place has got a dancing partner, Aiden Purdue and Keith Bradley round out the 10-car field.
Blake Bauer going to lead these guys to the green flag. 10 laps, and do stand corrected, we do only have enough cars for a C main and a B main to decide who gets themselves into the main event. 4 cars going to be transferring from each. Oh, I stand corrected. I read that wrong once again. We are in a D main. Thank you, Cody, our producer, for keeping me in line tonight. I am obviously,
I was about to mention.
I have been out of the game for a little bit. You got to cut me a little bit of slack. Green flag in the air for the D main. Blake Bauer going to be leading these guys into turn 1.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Man, one car around back there. So far, everybody manages to keep it moving.
Whoa! Keith Bradley just had a hard hit with the outside wall in turn number 4.
Still green so far. Officials see no harm out of the racetrack yet. Blake Bauer's got company, beating and banging new race leader. Wow. Aiden Purdue comes home to the lead.
This is just absolute insanity right now. Looks like finally things have gotten themselves settled back down as Purdue finally starts to build himself a gap. Blake Bauer seems to be moving ahead as well. Clape Sheets, meanwhile. Oh, Zach Hollinger gets turned around in the middle of the field and the caution finally comes out.
Caution flag is in the air. One car also involved in that one. Hard hit, almost head on to that outside wall, trying to avoid. Man, oh man. So one car getting turned around in the middle of the field there and kind of causing a whole mess of things.
And Brandon Crouch is driving face first into victory lane right now, and he's just kind of sitting there. I'm not sure what the heck he's doing. He was revving his engine against for a little while, so I don't know what that's all about. He's still there. He's actually still trying to get it going. I mean, have you ever seen this one before, Brenton?
You know, I see a lot of firsts, and this is one of them, but
just when you think you've seen it all. Is he stuck?
Nolan, I don't even know. I don't know anymore. This race has been hectic as it is, and race control throwing the cautions. I assume maybe some sort of mechanical failure. My only explanation. So holding this green for at least one more time around. Pace car still out onto the racing surface.
Well, just when you think you've seen it all, I guess. That is... gosh, that is...
By the way, 2021 coming to LSRTV, the NASRA Racing League will be a dirt midget series coming live right here to LSRTV. Don't want to miss a thing. For all of our updates, visit us on Facebook, Live Sim Racing TV, or LSRTV on our Facebook page, livesimracingtv.com for all the news updates. Nolan, we're going to go green this once again, this time by Purdue. Going to lead these guys to the drop of the green flag. He's on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
Sheets trying to hold the bottom side to take it away from Blake Bauer, and he's going to get that one done down in the turn number 3. Nothing Bauer can do about that one, so Bauer down from second to third. Meanwhile, Vinny Sansone is trying to see if he can hang on to the final transfer spot. One car also sideways in the background and almost in trouble. Garrett Halsey having a bit of a moment. Does install the car, thank goodness. Bauer still trying to work with it. He's side by side with Sansone now for third.
Man, it was a herd of hornets there for a little bit, and these guys starting to settle it out, but it's still kind of a battle for the transfer position. Vinny Sansone back there trying to find his way into the third position against Blake Bauer.
Both drivers still duking it out very hard. Coming to the white flag. Whoa, look at Bauer jumping all four wheels off the ground.
Oh, and a hard hit. And around he goes on the last lap. He's going to lose his chance out to advance to the feature.
He is not going to be happy about that one. I can almost guarantee it. You know who else lost out? Cody Gatsky.
Purdue, Sheets, Sampson going to round out your top 3. Husley going to be your final transfer position. Oh, man.
Cody Gatsky actually was in 4th at the start of that lap. He fell all the way back to 6th, though, in the span of that less than half a mile. So that is It's very unfortunate for both of those drivers, but already rolling over to the C main, where it's 13 cars waiting to line up for us.
13 cars indeed. Darren Stark going to be your pole sitter for this one. Reed Whitney going to be starting second of his outside. Easton Ashbrook starting that third position. Fourth is going to be Robert Ashbrook. Travis Creech going to be starting that fifth position. Sixth going to be Rhett Tucker. Samuel Raber going to be starting behind him. Then it's Ryland Gray. Brad Faria, Aiden Pardue. Caleb Sheets. Vinny Sanson. And rounding out the field, it's going to be Garrett Husley. Or Hulsey, sorry about that. Field rolls off behind the iRacing official pace truck. Going to be getting the one to go signal this time by at the line. We'll be ready to go racing for some C main action. 12 laps on the board. 4 advance to the B main.
Remember as well that the bottom 4 just advanced up from the D main as well, so they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to move up into the B main yet from here.
Darren Stark, your pole sitter, ready to get these guys underway. C main racing, 14 laps. We're green.
And it's already looking 3, 4 wide and deep in the field. Almost 5 even off of turn number 2. Multiple cars getting together. They somehow survive it. No, they don't.
Oh,
One
man.
car hardly on that wall. Rhett Tucker rolling.
One car upside down. Rhett Tucker, he started up towards the front of this thing. Look at your LSRTV replay. It looks like things just kind of got stacked up there, Nolan, and that's exactly what happened. And oh man,
Just got shoved in there, didn't he?
yeah, Rhett Tucker going for a wild ride in that 99 machine. He got tagged and up into the outside wall and barrel rolling down into turn 4.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of saw this one coming a mile off when I saw them trying to go 5 wide off of turn number 2. I mean, that doesn't typically work, especially in midgets.
Yeah, I mean, these cars, granted, you got a lot of room to play with, but you really don't at the same time. 3, 4, 5 wide racing, bound to cause a little bit of a mess. Green flag back in the air. Darren Stark leads these guys out of turn 2 this time by. The battle for third is on. It's a blanket of race cars for the transferred position. Robert Ashbrook so far holding the 4th position. 3 wide out of turn 2 that time by.
Careful not to hit the Uke tires. We already seen what happens more than once when drivers bounce over that.
Caution.
That's Ryland Gray again caught up in an incident.
Tough night for him so far. And again, things just getting a little bit stacked up there in Nolan, and that'll send him right around, and he's going to have to possibly work his way back from the back of the field.
Look at Caleb Sheets getting that car turned around in style. I mean, how often do you see a car getting themselves turned back around the right way by popping a wheelie?
That's just how we do it in the midgets.
It's the only way to do it, because if you try to turn normally, you're not going to turn at all.
Again, POWRi, we'd like to thank them for coming on for this event, and race director William Duvall keeping all these guys in line here tonight. These guys stacked up, doubled up, ready to go green flag racing this time by. They hit turn 4 on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air. Out of turn 2 this time, Darren Stark, he's got company trying to hold him off nearly 3, 4 wide. This time 3 wide, battle for the lead, 1 car around.
That was Easton Ashbrook, and he might have been taken out by the other Ashbrook in the field, Robert Ashbrook. And in fact, he was. They made contact. So Easton Ashbrook going from the leader of the heat race to stone dead last of the cars on the track.
Oh, Easton came way down the racetrack, and he hit Robert Ashbrook, and that'll send him nearly up and over, somehow keeping it on all fours, but hard contact for him.
Easton just hit Caleb Sheets under caution. Gave him a bit of a tap on the back end. Not sure what that was all about.
Tempers are flaring here at Fairbury. I told you it happened. Tempers are real. Feelings are real. Hurt feelings cause bad tempers, and sometimes some interesting stuff out onto the racetrack. Green flag back in the air.
Oh, they're already wrecking though on the front straightaway, and the yellow flag comes out almost immediately. Samuel Raber was the main start of this one.
Oh man, oh man. Some hard hits there too, and 76 machine somehow straightening it out before almost hitting the wall head on. A couple other cars getting together back there, and some drivers are not happy about that one. Six laps down out of a 12-lap C main event.
And it looks like the lights are out on the pace truck, and we get set to go race once again, this time in the hands of Darren Stark, who managed to take the lead away from Easton just before the yellow came out.
Darren looking to lead these guys back to the green once again. For green flag racing, single file restart that time around, and the battle for the top three has not ceased yet. Robert Ashbrook trying to make headway on the outside. He's going to be your new race leader.
And Travis Creech this time spinning on the front straightaway, and this one was in the midst of the battle for the final transfer position, as a matter of fact. And that was all on Travis Creech, I'm afraid, because he just pounded the throttle a bit too hard in 3 and 4, popped the wheels up, and just drove right down to the side of another driver.
Oh, yeah. Big time wheelie action there for the 75 machine. That'll send him way around, and he manages to hang on the throttle and keep that machine going, but man, oh man.
My goodness, I mean, this at this point in time, this Consolation race has gone on about as long as the last 2 heat races combined, so I'm not sure if that says a thing or two, but we still technically have 4 more green flag laps to run here.
Yeah, absolutely, and green flag back in the air once again. Seeing how well these drivers hold up, play of patience here so far. Still trying to battle within the top 3. One car saving it back there. That was Brad Faria.
Fair trying to come back now as one more car gets sideways in the back. They ultimately manage to save it, and the yellow flag is out again. And this time it's Garrett Halsey that's up and over in turn 3 in the 88 machine. And I think he hit the wall all by himself.
Man, oh man. Not good at all.
Two more green flag laps to run.
Race control going to stack these guys up as quickly as he can. Try to get these guys off of the racetrack as quickly as he can at this point. Again, 4 cars are advancing here. And that's not to say this hasn't been really good racing so far, especially back there all the way to the transfer position. These guys going to try to do it again this time. Robert Ashbrook leading these guys to the green. Green flag is back in the air.
Just got to make it around 2 more times. Look at Aiden Purdue pulling the slider for the race lead.
Race lead is on Robert Ashbrook, making it work so far. We are under the white flag. Look out.
Oh.
Banging Nerf bars here at a turn 4. Wow. Purdue gets that D-main win. Unbelievable.
By the skin of his teeth, too. That was that is how you pull off a last lap pass in a midget.
Purdue, Ashbrook, Stark, Sandstone gonna advance to the B main. Nolan, B main racing action. All the marbles are on the table. Whoever advances from this, 5 cars are gonna have their shot to make it into the feature event.
Right now, the drivers that are in the best position to do that are, of course, the top 5 starters. Those are Jake Erickson, Alex Rupert, Justin Sizemore, Tyler Scott, and Jonathan Schaefer. The drivers that have a bit of work to do: Trey Gropp in 6th, Brian Wiedemann in 7th, Jack Hoyer in 8th, Cody Knott 9th, Alex Benelis in 10th, Kenny Miller in 11th. The drivers that moved on for the C main: Aiden Purdue, Robert Ashbrook, Darren Stark, and Vinny Sansone rounding out a 15 car B main field. So the pace truck leads the field off now, down for turns 1 and 2 in the first of 2 pacing laps. The last Consolation race we just did was the longest one we've had yet, so while we're hoping this one might go by a little bit faster so we could get to the main event that much quicker.
Boy, I'll tell you, I don't know how long I've been out of this for, but I can tell I'm rusty because I don't know how long my mic was muted, but we're going to go green this time at a turn 4. Producer Cody Wooten laughing at me in the background. He has every right to.
We all make the mistakes sometimes.
Green flag flies. B main racing action. 5 cars going to advance. Jake Erickson take the lead right off the rip here. Alex Rupert fighting for second. 4 cars under a blanket. 5 cars under a blanket this time at a 4.
Still a much cleaner start than in the C main so far. Drivers are still beating and banging, but so far they're managed to keep it out of each other to the point where there isn't a caution just yet. There's got to be one at some point, though, if they keep this kind of racing up.
Man, oh man. The top 4 under a tight blanket. Look out, Jake Erickson. He's going to come home with a race lead. Caution flag flies.
And Alex Benalis was the one that got caught up in that. He got turned by Trey Gropp. Meanwhile, Robert Ashbrook just slammed right into him on the high side of the racetrack. Don't think Robert had anywhere to go, but Alex Benalis was complaining because Trey Gropp turned from the wall right down into him. That was a bit clumsy there on Gropp's part.
Wild ride for that 63 machine, and he's going to end up in the pits as he went upside down, up to the outside wall. We're going to stack these guys up and try to get this thing going once again.
You saw the incident that took place on the replay there on your screens as well. The incident that just took place. Brandon, what's your take on that one?
Well, I think it was 2 cars trying to fight for the same real estate there, and unfortunately just clipping his Nerf bar, sending him up the racetrack and up to the outside wall, and with a hard hit came another hard hit from small but mighty Steel Machine, so sent him up into the air, and, you know, I think just generally a racing incident, but happens. Close quarters racing, wheel to wheel, coming to green this time, Nolan.
Coming to green indeed in the hands of Jake Erickson, leads them off to the green. Not a good launch though for him as Alex Rupert was all over him. He read him like a book on that restart, beating and banging behind them. Caution flag is out immediately for Brian Weedman, stopped in 2.
Everybody on the binders once again. Caution flag flies right off the rip. So we're going to stack these guys up real quick and see if we can get them going again.
Pretty soft hit that time. I think that's got to be one of the mildest incidents who had a yellow flag for. Obviously, they had to throw because he stopped in the middle of the racetrack at the front of the field in the optimal racing line. I mean, you don't really have a choice at that point, but at least on the bright side for Wheelman, no damage on that car.
Jake Erickson going to be up front. Alex Ruppert, Jonathan Schaefer, Tyler Scott, Brian Weidman. Going to be your top 5 in your transfer positions so far. These guys doubled up, stacked up, ready to go racing, this time by once again. Erickson going to be leading these guys.
And they've extended it.
Race control calling the caution once again off the restart, adjusting lineup orders.
Well, yeah, I'd have to feel the front 3 rows were, well, double file. It's a single file restart, though.
That you were right. So these guys, I guess, get into a habit, you know? You're in the zone, almost tunnel vision. Green flag out once again, though. Jake Erickson leads the field down into turn 1. Alex Ruppert to his inside now. It's going to be a side-by-side battle for the race lead.
Ruppert not able to capitalize. Erickson still has the race lead down into turn 1 once again. This time Ruppert can't get on the inside. He might have to try to see if he can find another way around. He's got Jonathan Schaefer though to worry about behind him. Yellow flag is out once again, and this time it's for Tyler Scott. Sideways just at the entrance to 3. I mean, come on, guys. This is starting to get a bit silly at this point.
Scott was in the fight and in a position for a transfer into the feature events, and now look at what happened. Just contacts from...
That's Dustin Sizemore.
Yeah, Dustin Sizemore, and that'll send him right around. They are calling the caution on the number 23 as he did come down the racetrack just a little bit and had to cause that incident.
I don't know about that one, if I'm being honest. I think it was a bit of both. I mean, I think Scott came down a bit. I think Sizemore definitely went up a bit. I think that, honestly, might be a little bit on both of them.
Yeah, I'd have to call that one a racing deal as well, but race control here, trying to get these guys lined up to where they're supposed to be. 6 laps in the books so far out of a 14-lap B main event. Top 5 transfer to the feature event. We will have a 5-minute warm-up session and probably a quick commercial break to give our voices a rest real quick before the feature event. Gonna be green flag this time, Nolan.
Green flag this time. Jake Erickson speeds up a little bit to catch the pace car. These guys have to be careful for the checkup in the back of the field. Looks like everybody gets it back down relatively okay. So it's in Erickson's hands now once again as he leads him to the green flag. It looks like Alex Ruppert tried to get the jump on him. Looks like they did extend the yellow flag by 1 more lap. And I got a car rejoined the racing surface. As a matter of fact, in the background, Alex Benalis rejoins the field.
We'll try it again this time around. From what I see, the caution lights are indeed off. The field stacked up, doubled up, ready to go racing once again. Erickson is on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
Whole field fanning out through 1 and 2. So far, so green. About halfway. We are now exactly halfway through the final consolation race of the night. 1 car hard on the ball, front straightaway. And caution flags out again. I believe Kenny Miller was the one caught up this time. And they're going to have to look at that one again because Robert Ashbrook showed no mercy in taking him out there.
Yeah, I don't really like what I saw there, but who am I to express my opinion? Kenny Miller, huge impact into the outside concrete, and Robert Ashbrook all the way from the top of the racetrack, square into the back Nerf bar of that 23 machine, and Nah, I didn't like that one.
Race control still deciding the decision here of this latest incident.
Green flag is in the air once again.
Not quite. Caution's out. Pace truck's coming back out, Brandon.
All right, so Pace truck is back out. Good catch, Nolan. Rate control, just trying to get everything sorted out. There is a little bit of a debacle back there. The 90 machine was asked to park it after that incident. A little bit of a protest, unsafe conditions out onto the racetrack right now, staying yellow.
And he was just ejected from the facility.
Taken out by security, if you will. Robert Ashbrook will not be in the feature event, to say the least. Jake Erickson leading the field back to the green this time. He's on the throttle. For real this time. Green flag is back in the air.
Yeah, we're green for realsies this time round. As Erickson once more, I spoke too soon. I think I jinxed the field that time round. We're not greensies for realsies. Jack Hoyer took a roll after ramping off the juke tires. Went for a wheelie actually. And actually, you'll get this, Brandon. He actually hit the juke tire with the back wheels first.
Yeah, I'm looking at LSRTV replay, and he caught it, popped that front end up, hit it with the left rear, and he got set for a wild ride all the way down that back straightaway.
Props, though, most of the field for managing to miss him from this one. I mean, he only got hit by like 1 or 2 drivers. Take a ride on board this time with him.
How's that for an onboard look? Get dizzy.
Once again, hoping that he's not wearing a VR headset for that one.
These guys going to be stacked up once again here. Hopeful to take the green flag, I believe this time by. Pace truck does make its way into the safety of the infield. Jake Erickson, he's on the throttle. Caution flag flies.
And apparently the 26 car is saying he was somehow disqualified from the session. They all checked up in the back, or I guess midfield. That is the most unusual incident I think I've ever seen in my life. Once again, a day for firsts.
Yeah, I'm speechless. So Brian Weidman got into the wall before the green flag came out, and that stacked everybody up, and now we're yellow. Very interesting scenario. So, green flag is back in the air. Jake Erickson. So far has the lead. This has been a very confusing race, Nolan. I'm not going to lie. Still trying to wrap my head around everything that's happened.
I'm speechless. I genuinely am. I'm not saying much. I don't have any words for this one. I mean, this has been a very, very unusual race indeed.
Apologize for the dead air there, but I'm trying to wrap my head around everything that just happened. And of course, we're going to be coming around to the white flag next time Jake Erickson crosses the stripe. 13 laps down. White flag is in the air this time by man, oh man. Coming to the checkers this time, Jake Erickson gonna make his way into the A main. Alex Ruppert, Jonathan Schaefer, Dustin Sizemore, Tyler Gropp all make their way into the feature events. Interesting way to end these mains. Well, with that being said, folks, these guys going to go into a quick warm-up session. We're going to step away for just a couple of moments to go to a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. We've got A-Main Racing action next here live at LSRTV.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Welcome back, everybody. You're watching the POWRi Midget iNationals here live at LSRTV. We're ready to get things going. A-main racing action. Nolan, take us away for your starting lineup.
Starting on the pole in a 20-car, 40-lap feature main event is FNC Alex Bergeron lining up beside him. On the first row, Blake Majulis and JD Brown in third and fourth. Chase McDermott rounding out the top five. Chase Randall and Brennan Rogers in fifth and sixth. Sorry, Brennan Rogers in seventh. Logan Rumsey in eighth. Hunter Wise in ninth. Tyler Edwards 10th. Kendall Tucker in the 11th position with Jacob Denny in 12th. Jason Persley in the 13th position. Joseph Buonagurio in 14th. Dylan Yeager in 15th. Jarek Erickson 16th. Alex Rupert, Jonathan Schaefer in 17th and 18th. Rounding out the 20-car field, Dustin Sizemore and Trey Grob bring up the rear.
It's going to be one good A-main racing event. We're about ready to get things going, and these guys got to gear up and something unique. 4-wide salute here in just a couple of laps.
That's why you see 45 laps up on that's going to be showing up here instead of what is actually going to be 40, so they can get that good old 4-wide salute in there.
Something special that we like to do here, and gonna be some cool stuff. These guys gearing up and getting ready to go here.
Look at this.
So, race fans, we gear up, get ready to go. The field gets the signal. Race fans, before they pull the belts tight one more time, before they have to clear their visors of the clay and the grime, before they go out and battle side by side, we bring you the small but mighty midgets 4 wide. The high octane, high horsepower, small but mighty steel machines of pure power. The drivers of the POWRi Midget iNationals. These guys break off, getting ready to go. They're calling 2 laps to green this time.
That is truly a sight to behold right there. Every time I see 4 wide, it is just amazing because it doesn't happen often. It's always great to see when it does.
Gonna be green flag off of 4. This time by. The field gets ready to buckle their seatbelts, pull them tight one more time. It's showtime!
And already sliding in the background, one car almost on his side. The car that spun in question was the previous 6th place driver, Chase McDermott, in the number 40 machine. So yellow flag on just lap number 1.
Well, 3/4 of a lap down, not quite able to get to that 1 lap mark, and a little bit of a stack up, but I do believe every driver able to keep it going. Gonna be an original restart this time by. Lights on the pace car should be off this time. Like the broadcast quality you see. For more information and all the latest news updates from us here at LSRTV, go ahead and visit livesimracingtv.com. You can also check out our broadcast prices. Again, that's livesimracingtv.com.
They're doing a full restart on this one, Brandon, which means everybody's supposed to line up exactly where they were at the start of the race. So they're not going to do this like a normal race restart. It is a full race restart here, typically.
Race officials pushing off the restart this time and trying to get everybody into their original starting positions. Going to be Evan C., Alex Bergeron on the front row once again. They're all going to fire at a turn 4. Per command, Evan C. He's going to be your control car this time. They're on the throttle. Bergeron gets into the Nerf bar. He's going to lose a ton of spots.
And so he is going to be forced to go around the outside as they go 4 wide down for turn number 3. Bergeron still working the top side. He's managed to hang on to 3rd for now. So good on Bergeron to recover there in this one. Already cars colliding behind the 1 car around in the background as well. Caution flies out again. Jacob Denny is the one that got spun around. Dustin Sizemore was sideways as well.
Jacob Denny spun in the middle of the racing surface, and it looked like a stack up actually before him. And 25 machine was the original car to go around. That's Chase Randall. He did have a little bit of help there, and that caused a whole mess. Jacob Denny was just an innocent bystander in that whole deal, and as well as Dustin Sizemore.
Logan Rumsey has been given an end of the line penalty for causing that last incident. And he was the driver that originally hit Chase Randall to start that whole checkup.
Yeah, so he was declared the caution car. He'll take it all the way back to the end of the longest line. These guys going to get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go green flag racing once again. Pace truck is in. Evan C., your control car. He's on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air.
Looking 3 for 4 down in the turn number 1 already, and so far we are not, the cautions will not become more for now, at least. That is, as field still diving the way off of the corners while it's still a hornet's nest. Never mind, 1 car sliding around middle of the field, and he is up and over. Tyler Edwards upside down in turn number 1, and it'll be a single file restart for this one.
Tyler Edwards kind of did that one to himself. Looked like trying to avoid contact with a fellow racer, and I believe that was Kendall Tucker. Yes, it was. And he spun himself around and upside down into turn number 1.
Caution number 2 on, I believe, what is lap number 5. So this is once again starting to turn out like that B main did, and we're just hoping that we could get a longer green flag run in here. 40 laps, it's not a long time, so theoretically it shouldn't take us terribly long to complete it.
Well, you know what they say, sometimes you got to eliminate some to have a good race.
Ain't that the truth?
So green flag comes out once again. He is on the throttle, and he's got clean sailing, or so we thought. Here comes Majulis down at the bottom of the speedway, and he's got company back behind him. Bergeron back there, as well as JD Brown. Caution flag flies once again.
And Jacob Denny, again, Denny caught up in an incident in turn number 2. He was the one that went upside down. This originally started with Trey Gropp, though, and the 91 of Jonathan Schaefer making contact, and Denny just didn't have anywhere to go.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely a nowhere to go incident there. And 91 and the 21 kind of got together there, and that sent him around, and yeah, Denny just nowhere to go there.
And drivers are told to remain in the IRC given positions, meaning it does not look like there is going to be any further penalties given for the incident. Jonathan Shaver already pretty much is at the back of the field, so it would be a little bit pointless to give him an end-of-the-line penalty for being the caution car, seeing as he was technically the one that started the whole checkup when he broke a bit too far sideways. Lights on the pace truck. Looks like we're set to go back green.
Controlled cars, car number 33 once again on the throttle. He's got 3 cars of company behind him. Now once again, Bergeron ripping the high side, trying to make something happen.
Didn't get the launch that he maybe should have needed, though. He's going to be followed up by Blake Majulis. 2 of the pro drivers wanted to do battle. Bergeron is always very, very comfortable on the high side of the racetrack. Very rarely will you see him on the bottom. Caution flags out, and it looks like Bergeron might have actually just lost third, indeed, as he was down to 4th at the time. Dustin Sizemore, the one that appears to have brought out the yellow flag, along with a flipping Joseph Buonagurio.
Buonagurio, all by his lonesome, spun around down into turn number 1, and he got clobbered by Dustin Sizemore that had nowhere to go. That'll send him upside down and airborne. And a tough break for the 028 and the car 11.
Good grief.
The race leader, still car 33. These guys all trying to get settled here, and I think once we get into a good green flag rhythm, it'll be all right, but a lot of these guys just trying to fight for the same real estate way too early in this race.
These guys got to keep in mind, I mean, you don't win a race on lap number 1. They got a long time to do it. Evan C. once more leads it back to the green. Bergeron once more moving right up to the top side of the racetrack. Really, really flirting with that outside wall. He's trying to get a big run down the back here around J.D. Brown. Brown is really good at ripping the bottom side, though, so Bergeron might have his money cut out for him if he wants to make the podium positions here.
J.D. Brown trying to have something to say about it once again as caution flag flies.
Logan Rumsey. Logan Rumsey and Dylan Yeager, I believe, were the 2 drivers that got caught up in this one. Oh, yeah, I got an eye on it. The 48 hit the wall and came right back into Rumsey, who just, again, nowhere to go.
Yeah, seeing here. That's exactly what happened. He bounced that right rear off the outside wall and came down the racetrack, and Rumsey was right there, nowhere to go, and tough incident. So Dylan Yeager will get sent to the end of the longest line.
Indeed he is.
Well, tough race cars to drive and a tough racing surface here at the Fairbury Speedway.
The thing about the track is that the corners are pretty darn tight. I mean, they don't look tight, but they are very, very tight. The track surface is very wide with narrow cars, so that might be part of the challenge here as well. Evan C. is the driver to lead into the green once more. And once more, the field dives through 1 and 2. So far, nobody sideways just yet.
Don't jinx it once again, Nolan. We got a side-by-side battle back there for the 3rd position. Look out, J.D. Brown. Brendan Rogers trying to make room. Now Rogers down below Bergeron.
Rogers really doing everything he can and trying to pick up the podium here. He might be able to get it done here around Alex Bergeron. He is going to get that move done as Bergeron once more moves to the top side of the racetrack to try to find the momentum up there. I don't think the speed is on the high side anymore, though. I think it's where Brendan Rogers is, which is all around the bottom lane of the racetrack now. That's where we've seen a lot of drivers go. That's been really the preferable line all night long. So I think that bottom side, that's where you want to be if you want to make up speed.
And caution flag flies once again.
And the cause is 2 more drivers that have been caught up in numerous incidents already today. Dustin Sizemore and Logan Rumsey, and side-by-side contact, middle of the backstretch.
Well, I don't think Sizemore really had anywhere to go there. Rumsey came down, way down the racetrack there in quarter exit, and probably put that one on the 41. Race Control does agree with me, and I can see Race Control, both members of Race Control, flailing their arms in the tower next to us. Not happy with everything that's going on right now.
Rumsey comes back onto the track and kicks a pit cone out there in the process.
Well, the old saying goes, you can tell these guys what to do, but you can't drive the car for them, and sometimes you wish you could. Race Control reminding these guys about the 3 caution rule. You cause 3 cautions, you're done. These guys stacked up, ready for the green once again. Evan C. on the throttle. He's got company already. Bejulis back behind him in the 127 machine. These guys low riding way against the U tires now. Way up the track goes C. That opens up the door. Bejulis can't quite make it happen.
Evan C has just been really rocking this car from start to finish today. He has just been in absolute control of the entire night so far. And he is actually starting to build a gap here on Blake Majulis as well. So C has got that midget absolutely dialed in tonight.
Brendan Rogers now up the racetrack, so is Bergeron. These guys pounded the cushion right on quarter exit. And now way back to low side, almost making contact was the 20 machine to the 127.
Bergeron once more diving it way up the track, trying to get in with Brendan Rogers. So it's a fierce battle for third here. What Bergeron's trying to do is he's trying to rip the high side to get momentum going and then really pounce in 3 and 4 by diving it off low. He's just not able to get close enough to make the move work.
These guys trying to fight for the brown stuff. That's where the grip is. That's where the moisture is. They're trying to find those grip strips on the racetrack, and they are using every inch of this racing surface as caution flies once again.
Another yellow flag from the Banana Republic. Jonathan Schaefer was the cause of this one all by his own. Slid up in 2, tagged the wall, took a bit of a wild ride.
Upside down goes car number 91. And yeah, Schaefer going for a wild ride, and he'll get the tail end.
Sounds to be 19 laps to go. I mean, at this point in time, I gotta wonder, what if you do, or if you're one of these guys behind this trying to reel in Evan C, because C has just been in absolute control the entire race. If you're a guy like Blake Majulis, you've been trying, I mean, we've seen it before. Majulis has been trying to run the bottom side. What do you do now to try to change that, to see if you can get by him?
You really have to try to take advantage on these restarts, and these guys trying to do just that as he hangs with them there. Green flag flies once again. It's going to be a tight battle down here into turn number 1. Now off of turn 2. Here comes the 127 side by side for the race lead.
C gonna push up the track. Majulis trying to hold the bottom still, side by side for the race lead, and C manages to pull ahead of him. Oh, Majulis gets tagged by third place of Brendan Rogers and nearly wipes him out at the same time. So very, very close call there indeed. Now Rogers slips up right between Bergeron and Majulis, still trying to hang on to the third position. Caution flag flies and saves him in the background. And this one was Jake Erickson.
Upside down the front straightaway, I do believe, or at least around. Yeah, he got just that around there.
He did get overturned, actually, on the front straightaway for a brief moment.
I thought my eyes were tricking me there, but you are right. He did go upside down for a brief moment, and
nearly got to push from the pace truck as they came out of pit road.
25 getting the EOL for that one. He came way up the racetrack to cause that whole mess. So these guys will get stacked up once again here.
Lights are out again as we get set to Go back racing. Evan C still in control. Blake Majulis did a really good job to hang on. Almost got the lead as well. No doubt he'll be seeing if he can replicate that restart and maybe a bit more.
Trying to, and he's right there with him on the restart. 4 cars under a blanket. Bergeron up high once again. 20 machine down low. That's Brendan Rogers. All the way up to the Nerf bar. A little bit squirrely there. 5 cars under a blanket. Bergeron trying to take that spot away for third.
And you might just be able to get it if he can get a yellow flag here when he's just a little bit ahead. Majulis not able to take the lead away on the restart. Alex Bergeron has got third though for the meantime. Brendan Rogers still trying to fight him on the bottom side, but Bergeron is always going to be able to drag him here off the top.
Loses a little bit of ground. Caution flag flies once again. See who is for this time.
We're looking to the back of the field here. I think this is turn 1 we're looking at. Oh, there it is. Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah, that was Dylan Yeager up to the outside wall all by his lonesome and nearly up and over. Does a quick pirouette 360. He's able to keep that thing moving forward, but it does bring out the caution.
That caution came out at a critical time for Alex Bergeron because that has secured his third place here for now. Now, if he can get a good restart here, he can maybe pick off Blake Majulis with the same tactics around the outside. And if he could get another lucky yellow, maybe Evan C as well. Bergeron seems to be really good on the restarts here.
Yeah, I mean, all of these top 3, top 4 guys have been spot on these last couple of restarts, which is exactly what they have to do. And this time around, right on top of it once again. 4 cars under a blanket. Evan C's got company. Majulis back behind him. Bergeron in third. Bergeron right on the rear Nerf bar. Here comes the 20 machine of Brendan Rogers on the low side once again.
So 3 under the blanket on the bottom bunk, and then Bergeron all by himself on the top bunk, so to speak. Now trying to throw it in around Blake Majulis for the high side. Majulis still trying to run the bottom as Bergeron really does try to pull the top. Can't quite get there, though. Yellow flag is out yet again. And that was Chase McDermott, it looks like, that came down and cleaned out Logan Rumsey.
Yeah, so it looked like he got the wall a little bit and sent him right down the racetrack. Rumsey just carrying a lot of speed, and I think it looked like he tried to hit the binders and just nowhere to go.
And race control has declared that one a racing incident as both drivers kind of met in the middle. It was one coming up, one coming down, one going around sort of deal.
Evan C is still your race leader. Lights are out onto the iRacing official pace truck this time. Gonna be 9 laps to go when they cross the stripe. C, Majulis, Bergeron, your top 3. Brendan Rogers, JD Brown, all contenders as well. On the throttle, green flag is back in the air once again.
See, with a little bit of a better launch, Majulis still trying to run the bottom line. Once again, Bergeron all the way to the top side. Here we go into turn 3, though. Majulis getting close to Evan C. I think they made a little bit of contact as well. Here goes Brendan Rogers trying to throw his way into the mix.
Almost 3 wide there for the second position. Majulis holds on to the second spot. Bergeron now trying to keep him company. Ripping the high side.
Oh! Brendan Rogers got all sorts of sideways. He's lost a lot of time. Here goes Bergeron trying for second.
Bergeron ripping the high side now. He's going to take that second position away. Majulis falls back to third now, rocking the low side. Still going to be side by side battling off of turn 2.
Just one more target now for Bergeron. That's your race leader, Evan C. He's led every lap so far this race. Bergeron just has one more target to pick off before he is going to be the winner of a 4-figure prize coming at the end of this race in just 4 laps time.
Man, the competition is really tough up at the front of this thing right now, and Majulis will not leave Bergeron alone as, well, understanding 4 digits worth of prize money on the line here. Majulis trying to fight down on the low side, can't quite make it happen. Evan C liking what he's seeing back behind him. These guys battle it out side by side once again.
Bergeron closes up big time in 4, but loses the momentum on the attempted slider. C really working the bottom side here in 3 and 4. They're kind of taking a slider line. 3 and 4, sorry, he's running in bottom in 1 and 2. Bergeron following suit, coming to the white flag.
One more time around the Fairbury Speedway. Evan C's out front. $1,000 to win, and he's gonna do it off of turn 4. Your race winner, Evan C. Alex Bergeron in second, Blake Majulis in third, Kendall Tucker 4th, 5th is Brennan Rogers. Tempers are flaring within the top 5, but it's gonna be Evan C coming home with a hot spot.
Wow. What a way to end the race.
Man, oh man. What a race. Race fans, we're going to take a moment to catch our breath after that one. We're going to cut away real quick. We'll be right back on LSRTV.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom t-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized, I mean, we'll do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything, hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, t-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees at yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Welcome, race fans, back to LSRTV. Here with the post-race show. And we've got your top three here ready to interview, and I believe Nolan's got two drivers right next to him.
I do indeed. Standing by with the third place driver of the day and winner of $200. Blake Majula is taking it home with the final podium positions of the night. Blake, it was a bit of an interesting night to say the very least. You managed to take home in the final step of the podium after winning in your heat race. How did your night go, do you reckon?
Very good. It was definitely fun. Different kind of order of events with that single car qualifying. That's my first time doing that, and definitely an interesting night. To say the least. Don't run these cars very much at all. I think this is my second race ever in these things, previously to the Chili Bowl last year, so to hop back in and be pretty strong is fun. Just kind of rode around the bottom there. I think the top might have been pretty good entering into 3 there. That's the only place that I think Alex was a little bit better, but it made the racing pretty good there. Wish we could have got some more green flag laps, but definitely an interesting race.
I mean, for your second time racing these cars, you said, definitely not a bad run at all, considering how tough the competition was, especially further up front. I mean, you were securely sitting in second and third the entire time. You were very, very close, actually, to FNC on quite a few of the restarts. What was your strategy on those to see if you could maybe pounce on them?
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to stay in line, not do anything stupid. And fortunately, we were able to come home third there. It was a bummer. Me and Brendan got into it. I know it was nothing on purpose, but it's racing, so it's kind of a bummer that had to happen. We might have had second there, but other than that, it was, couldn't ask for much better race at all for as far as I could say. It would have been hard to pass for the lead there anyway, so I would have been content with second or obviously third. So, definitely a good race and did what we could there.
And, sometimes doing all you can do is the best thing that you can do, especially when it comes to a track like this and the cars like this, for a matter of fact. Before we let you go today, Blake, anybody you'd like to shout out for us here tonight?
Me and Evan did a lot of testing this week, and fortunately we put a really good setup together, and he pulled away with the win, and we got something really good built here. So, got to thank him for the help. We put a lot of hard work in this week, and it paid off big time. So, got to thank Evan, and we did a lot of work this week along with Dylan Wilson. He helped me out a lot too. He wasn't even in this race, and he was willing to help me out. So, got to thank my teammate Wilson as well. D1RT Racing, Sim Seats, ML Performance, Folds Graphics, Bighorn Taxidermy, Swag Wraps and Graphics, ShopFergie22.com, Ultimate Dirt TV, Brett and everybody over there for everything they do, and everybody that watch. I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you, Mr. Blake Majulis, for taking the time to come down and give us a little bit of a chat tonight. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
As your third place finisher, winner of $200, Blake Majulis, going to up the prize pool by another $50. Carry things over to the second step of the podium. Alex Bergeron taking it home after a late race pass for the second position. Alex, it was a bit of an unusual race for you. I mean, we saw a lot of guys that are wanting to run the bottom side. You elected for the top line, though, almost every place you could. What was the strategy behind that one?
That's where I was fast. Made the last minute change on the car and completely changed the setup with the reset we had there and the low reins and stuff like that. Went for a different combo there, and the top was better for me, so I decided to run there. And the bottom I couldn't really do it, so like these guys were. So props to them for doing that. So I was just running the top, and I was able to get the momentum off turn 2, really close to the wall every single lap. I think I only made one mistake, so really perfect race for me. To get second there is awesome. Congrats to Evan C for the win there.
I mean, you certainly had to work for the second position. I mean, we saw you going back and forth from about second down to fourth the entire race long. Certainly not an easy feat as well with how stiff the competition was tonight. What do you think some of the challenges overall were tonight? And do you also reckon that you maybe could have gone for the win if the race had been a few laps longer?
Not really. I mean, I could have with a few restarts, but every time on the restart, I would get a much better run since I was starting on the bottom. When we get that restart going, our cars are all the way down the bottom out of 4, and it helps me out getting to turn 1. I had a hard time, trying to turn the car in as it was trying to go to the middle and the front straightaways. So I try to do my best there, but no, I think Vince had a really good car, and like all of us, we don't really run these cars, and to go out here and run that good is awesome for all the good guys up front.
You certainly put on quite the good show tonight, winning in your own heat race, and then coming home to take the second position as well overall. So before we let you go tonight, anybody that you'd like to shout out for us here?
Everybody at Team POWRi Sports, as always, Rebecca and Jason, also Brennan for helping me out this week to get the car ready, and everybody helps us out. Everybody supports us, all the partners, CSI Shocks, Pillage Cat, BK Designs, and Marring Farm Equipments, and all the fans out there tuning in tonight in the race, and you guys at LSRTV for putting this up, and Charles for doing this event with POWRi. It's awesome to be here, and also thanks to my dad for watching as always, and hopefully next year we can be back for this one.
And thank you, Mr. Bergeron, for taking the time to give us a little talk tonight. You have a good one.
Thank you.
That was your second place finisher, Alex Bergeron, taking it home in the second position. Now, Brandon, I believe you're standing by with the race winner tonight.
I am, and he's $1,000 richer, your race winner tonight, Evan C. And Evan, how you feeling, man? You come home with $1,000 and kind of an interesting feature event there, but you made it work.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe it, to be honest. I mean, I'm with Blake. This is the second time I've kind of ran these in a big race like this. Only other race being a Chili Bowl back in January. So, I didn't really expect to come out here and, just be fast like that and set pole and, lead the race like I did. But, I mean, I got to thank Blake for helping me test. We put together a good piece, but, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd be that good. I mean, I really didn't know what to expect there. Kind of going into the feature because I haven't really just ran these a lot, but I mean to be able to win a race like this, knowing my second time, is definitely pretty cool and pretty special for me.
Well, you and Blake and Alex all put on a really good show up there, and what was rolling through your mind there in the final couple of laps there? You had two cars right on your rear Nerf bar, but what was rolling through your head?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured Blake wouldn't do anything too crazy on the bottom because, I know he wanted to come away with a good finish. I knew Alex was running that top, and, he was pretty fast up there. I mean, I was just kind of hoping that bottom, held on in 1 and 2. I could hit that line pretty good and, slide it through the top out of 4. And, 10 to go. I mean, those 10 laps for me went by pretty fast, which surprised me. Usually the last 10 laps are the slowest, but I mean, they clicked off and, we was able to get them all green and hit our marks. And I mean, to have somebody like Alex on you is, tough to not make any mistakes because, he's going to be right there if you make any. But I mean, we was able to hang on there and, just click off in those last 10 laps and, pull away the win there.
Absolutely, and a dominating performance leading green to checkered. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or give a shout out to for your performance here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just kind of thank Blake for helping me test, get a setup together for this deal. And, everybody else at Team VLR, FTP, Jeff Brown, Iris and iFlag, Tyler Burr, doing me a paint real fast, shopforgy.com, McConaughey Setup Shop. And, just thank y'all guys for broadcasting everybody else to help put on this event.
And race fans, he is $1,000 richer as of tonight. Thanks for talking with us, Evan. Good job on your victory.
Thank you.
Nolan, that's about going to wrap it up for us here tonight. Any final thoughts on tonight? Obviously, good show put on by the top 3, top 4, actually all the way through the top 5 there in the feature event. Some crazy heat racing action, some crazy B-main racing action. I think it was a good night overall.
It was a very, very exciting night of racing from start to finish. We saw some very, very good battles from the heats to the consolation races, all the way up to the checker flag in the main event, especially the excellent passing that we saw amongst the guys on the podium positions in the closing stages of the race. Overall, I agree with you. Very good night.
Absolutely. And just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that made this possible, all the drivers that came out to race with us, all the race fans that are watching here tonight. One driver walked home, Evan C., $1,000 richer. Race fans from all of us here on LSRTV, everybody watching on POWRi TV and Race on Texas and YouTube and Facebook, and everybody that's tuned in to watch us here tonight. We'd like to thank all of you for your support, and please feel free to like our pages, subscribe if you're on YouTube. It really does help us out quite a bit. From all of us, myself, Brandon Kreutz, Charles Wooten behind the cameras, Nolan Rempel, my co-announcer here tonight, and of course, everybody that helped put on this event, we'd like to say good racing and good night.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSRTV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSRTV would like to thank